And
Absolutely.
I know that you've really seen hiring be used to perpetuate bias and kind of maintain the status quo, and ultimately white supremacy and the patriarchy firsthand. So can you share a little bit of this background and like where you've seen hiring and team building really go bad?
Yeah, I would say in some of our core assumptions, right? When we think about who is the best candidate for a role, or what does professionalism or readiness look like, these are kind of like core things that typically will fall like to the gut, right? And so you'll hear it in like candidate discussions or kind of calibrations at the end of an interview process, where it's like, oh, well, I didn't really feel that this person was like gonna fit in well with the team, or I didn't really feel that this person, was showing up professionally in their calls. And so that feel place is where it all goes wrong, because it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter how you feel, right? That feeling is completely based in your bias, your lived experience, the lens through which you view the world, and not that other person's ability to do the job or to contribute to your team, and to your work and to your products and your company culture. So absolutely, that those kind of like those soft feelings of how much you like the person or think you'll get along with them, that's where it always kind of goes south, and they're hard to measure and hard to standardize, but really important to do your best to do that, to calibrate those and standardize that measurement.
Yeah, my initial hypothesis was that this was hard to do, that we weren't able to do this, and that we didn't actually know what we wanted until we found it. And I've been since proved wrong. Realized that most of us are just busy, and this is a hard thing. So we don't prioritize the time, or we don't have the skills to build the language to make sure that's shared across our team and really define it. And that's kind of the point of this podcast, is really exploring, how do we think about these definitions? How do we decide what is that best talent? What are the core assumptions that we're making about that? And then how do we build out, a rubric that says, this is what good is, this is what great is, and here's actually like the qualities we're looking for, making sure that we're like digging into, is this even equitable, and like some of those big pieces. Because so often it's that feeling, or I can't put a finger on it. Yep. Or it's even, I left a screen this morning and I was like, oh my gosh, that was such a fun conversation. And then I went back through my notes and I actually like used the rubric we have in place to score them. This was not a good fit. But it was somebody who we jived because we have a really similar lived experience.
Yeah.
That it was a great moment for me, who, I don't know, I spent a lot of time thinking about this, and I was like, oh, I was about to advance a candidate that if I didn't have these checks and balances in place, that was not the right fit for this role.
And it makes sense.